Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And my name is Miska.
And welcome to Overwatch Central. When it comes to Halloween seasonal events, Junkenstein's Revenge is one of the most replayable ones. There wasn't too much added into how the game mode works, but it's still up there with one of the most difficult ones, especially when it comes to achievement hunting. Whether you want to grab these achievements or not, or whether you just want to set yourself a good time and try and complete it on Legendary, we have you covered with top 5 tips for Junkenstein's Revenge. Either on the vanilla mode or all heroes, we have tips for all kinds of things, regardless of what you're trying to do in the game.
And this video is of course sponsored by Nvidia, who made all this possible, all this 4K production, providing GPUs, monitors and so on. You can check them out via the link in the description below. But yeah, a big thanks to Nvidia for making this possible. On to our first tip though, and it's kind of the first and basic yet very important one. And it is nano boost your McCree and combo that with an Ana sleep dart if needed for your initial burst on any boss really, as this is just very key to bursting down bosses quickly. It can sometimes be difficult and you need to think about certain things, such as for Reaper you have to keep in mind that he'll wraith form as soon as he is out of the sleep. So don't shoot your Deadeye too late, as it just won't hit the Reaper at all if he's in Wraith form. And for all bosses as well, you need to try and stay high up, as if you are on ground level with McCree, a boss can potentially dip down on the sides of the mid path and out of your line of sight if you are not standing very close to them. And this can just happen randomly and can be hard to sort of predict. An important note here is also that you don't need to use your Ana to boost the McCree ultimate for the first Reaper. So this is mostly for legendary difficulty, as you need to preserve ultimates a little bit more, but yeah, you do not need to nano boost your McCree when he's ulting the first Reaper. So instead you just Deadeye with the McCree and then Sleep Dart of course to make that easier. And then you finish the Reaper off after Wraith form together with your team using stunts and other abilities and CC and so on. But all in all, the McCree ultimate is very, very important.
For the normal game mode, we have a basic positioning tip that helps everybody out. Soldier can easily cover the top left path on his own. This is incredibly important, as you'll have an easy time lining up headshots on that same path. It can also dip down onto the stairs if he's needed to heal, for example. You can also see some soldiers rocket jumping onto the ledge that Junkrat appears on, which is good for a bird's eye view of the whole map. But obviously you want to move when Junkrat comes into play, as he will bomb you into oblivion first.
And on to our next tip, and we wanted to include some tips for the no damage to the door achievements. There's one for endless and one for normal mode. For the endless mode you should definitely use Zenyatta and Torbjorn. Other than those we recommend McCree and Soldier 76 as well, but I've seen some other heroes work here and there. Zenyatta's Disco Orb is ridiculously good though to focus down bosses, as this combined with headshots can deal more damage than even most ultimates later into the game. Torbjorn is good for obvious reasons as well, as his turret is just yet another source of damage and it'll rarely be taken down as well, as enemies will mostly be focusing the heroes. Sometimes the Zombardiers can hit the turret with the splash damage from their projectiles, but that's kind of rare still. The armor as well from Torbjorn can actually be very useful as well, as you can just keep spamming out armor packs throughout the match basically. Just make sure you spread them out a bit so your team can use them efficiently. You want to make sure to use up the full 75 armor from an armor pack and then grab a new one. That way you can just have hundreds of extra health just laying around that you can pick up as you are fighting.
If you're doing a no damage on the door achievement in the normal mode though, the previous tip obviously doesn't apply. In this case, it's mostly a matter of making sure that you're actually using ultimates to wave clear as well. Hard difficulty is really not that bad once you are used to the game mode, and you have good comms. How you use your ultimates early game is incredibly important. This becomes less of a problem as you go through the game mode, as you can get your ult back fairly quickly. But you just want to make sure that you're not getting greedy for kills or playing the game, and that you have a good balance between focusing your ultimates on killing the big baddies like Roadhog and Reaper, to actually clearing out waves of bombardiers and all of that stuff that really is going to cause you problems down the line. It's all about communicating with your team so you don't pop too many ultimates at once, and you should have enough damage at your disposal to deal with waves during boss fights if everything gets a bit too overwhelming.
And finally, I want to highlight how incredibly difficult it is to play Ana in Junkenstein's Revenge. It is by far the hardest role to play in the normal non-endless mode, so please do look out for your Ana. If Ana dies, things will get a lot harder than before, whilst if any of the DPS dies, your focus will mostly be in having any of the remaining DPS kite a boss whilst your Ana is healing that same DPS. This is also why playing with a pre-made team will make things a lot easier, as you can make sure you have solid comms, which definitely helps the Ana out. But essentially this last tip is just a reminder that anything you can do to help your Ana out is great, as it's a very stressful role. It's kind of impossible to keep up at the end and you will die. And if you didn't get any heals from your Ana, she was probably doing something different. But it is definitely a very difficult role to play.
And that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Do let us know what your favourite heroes are to play in Junkenstein's Revenge. I'm a big fan of Torbjorn. I think if you're playing the endless version of the game mode, you can't really go wrong with him. But let us know your tips as well in the comments below. And thanks again to Nvidia for sponsoring this video. And hopefully you have a 4K monitor that you were able to enjoy this video with. But until next time, take care. We'll see you then.